All right, here we go. Brand new Flyers Daily for the 24th of January, 2024. Flyers have now lost 3 straight games. Will it cost them in the standings? We'll discuss that and much more. Flyers Daily, as always, presented by Ticketmaster. Make more memories live. Obviously, a lot of big stories regarding the Flyers yesterday, and we're going to start before we even get to the game with some of the big stories and obviously the roster moves and fallout thereof. We've got a statement from the Flyers and general manager Danny Briere yesterday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon that read as follows. Carter Hart has requested and been granted an indefinite leave of absence citing personal reasons. The club will have no further comment at this time. So Carter Hart, obviously not available for last night's game. And we'll see exactly what that means, how long he will not be available for. It opens up an opportunity, obviously, for Samuel Ersson to carry the load and be the top goaltender right now in the organization, as long as Hart is not available. And we're not going to speculate on where that goes or the reasoning behind it. As we get information, we will discuss. But the Flyers make that statement yesterday, and the roster ramifications, they're obvious. You're going to have to make a move. You're going to have to bring a goalie up, and they do exactly that. They call up Cal Peterson, and they place Owen Tippett on injured reserve. So, obviously, a couple things. Cal Peterson is the backup goaltender right now for the Flyers. We'll see if they go to Felix Sandstrom at some point or that remains Cal Peterson. We'll see how that part of the equation plays out. Obviously, both of those goaltenders, Felix Sandstrom and Cal Peterson, to be reassigned to the American Hockey League would have to pass through waivers. But with Cal Peterson's contract, it's obviously far more unlikely he would be claimed on waivers than maybe Felix Sandstrom. As far as Owen Tippett going on injured reserve, that also allowed the Flyers to call up Ule Lixell, who got a much more prominent role in last night's game against the Tampa Bay Lightning, getting an opportunity to play with some players that can make plays and bring out some offense in his game. John Tortorella spoke yesterday with the media and talked about Lixell, about when he saw him earlier this year, he thought he was too safe. He does not want him to play safe. He wants him to drive offense, and driving offense sometimes comes with risk. So he wants to see that out of Lixell. We'll see where that goes going forward as well. As for the game last night, it was one of those games that I will point to as a shining example of quality in scoring chances is always better than quantity of scoring chances. Flyers outshot Tampa in the game 32-22. I think Tampa only had 7 shots in the first period. 2 of them went in. And it's just like Saturday's game against Colorado in the first period. The first 2 goals that Colorado scored, even 4 of the 5 Colorado goals, maybe even all 5, were high quality scoring chances. And this game against Tampa resembled that. And it's one of those situations where, yeah, you can look at the raw numbers. You can look at the fact that Tampa had 22 goals and scored 6 goals in the game. Only 4 were while Sam Ersson was in the net. And go, okay, that's not a good goalie performance. Goalie's job is to make saves. You outshot them, and they scored more than you. But when you look at the goals, the context of the goals, and you want to look at if the goalie should have stopped it or not, boy, the 4 goals that Sam Ersson let in this game, I don't know that he had a chance and where to make a save on any of the 4. Any of them. The first goal of the game, Tampa scores it early in this one. Braden Point, a minute 46 in, is on the back door. There's a coverage breakdown. He sneaks in behind the Flyers defense, and he kind of rotates to his backhand to get his stick in the middle of the ice, provides a target perfectly for Crozier, who has the slap pass perfectly deflected into the back door by Braden Point. Sam Ersson got no chance on that. He has to respect the shot of Crozier, because if he doesn't, he'll get beat with the shot. And he has to respect the shot and have the confidence that the back door is covered. In this case, it wasn't. Braden Point opens the scoring. It's 1-0 Tampa. Then after a Tampa power play had just expired, Kucherov picks up a loose puck. It gets to Radish, and Kucherov spins from the middle of the ice after he gets rid of the puck, spins over just below the top of the circle as Brandon Hagel gets the puck. And just like that second goal in the Colorado game, that low to high play from below the circle, cross ice pass, one-timer, I called it one of the most dangerous type of scoring chance in the NHL. You see it here again. Hagel gets the puck, wires it across ice to Nikita Kucherov, who one-times it and beats Sam Ersson. He's got no chance. He is literally traveling, rotated on his right post, has to completely rotate his body and come all the way across. And as fast as that pass is going and the one-time shot is perfect, your goalie doesn't have a chance. There's no chance. And Kucherov picks up his 29th goal of the season. Then we pick it up in the second period, 2:24 in, this time Tampa on the power play. Kucherov picks up another one, and no chance for Sam Ersson. Braden Point, Stamkos with the assist. Not top power play in the league, cashes in once again. They're clicking at 30%. Tampa goes up 3-0. At 9:56, Flyers get on the board. It's Cam Atkinson, his 13th of the season and 5th goal in his last 6 games. Joel Farabee and Sean Walker pick up the assist. And where's Atkinson at when he scores? Right around the net. Just a beautiful redirect over the high glove of Andrei Vasilevsky, who was really good for Tampa in the first. Flyers outplayed Tampa in the first. They just came out of the period down 2-0. Farabee and Walker with the assist. Flyers make it 3-1. Then Jamie Drysdale on the power play gets his first as a Flyer, second of the season. And just a good shot here from Drysdale with, again, traffic around the net. Cam Atkinson down around the net, making Andrei Vasilevsky a little kind of congested there and have to account for him. And Drysdale is able to beat Vasi. And Morgan Frost picks up an assist along with Cam Atkinson. Flyers make it 3-2. Now we've got a game. But then later in the period, on the power play again, Nikita Kucherov, Victor Hedman takes a shot from the point that ends up astray, ends up right on the tape, down along the goal line for Nikita Kucherov on the right side. And like a lot of people, when that puck comes flying to him, like it does to Kucherov here, kind of in his feet a little bit, towards the middle of his body, Kucherov doesn't panic at all. He's got hands like butter. And he just one touches a pass to Yzerman, one-timer in the back of the net. Now it's 4-2. And all 4 goals, I looked at all 4 of them several times. Boy, it would have taken just an unbelievable read and save to make a save on any of them. Like the goals that were scored on Carter Hart in the Colorado game on Saturday, this is too high quality of scoring chance to survive. They're just such high quality chances, and you can't give them up. Not against a team like Tampa. You can't do that. But we head to the third period, Flyers down 2. 42 seconds into the third period. A week ago Thursday, Owen Tippett had what is the goal of the year? Maybe in the NHL. That backhand on the spinorama, attacking the Dallas Stars defender. Backhand shelf, beauty. This one, 42 seconds into the period, Cam York comes in, goes to take a shot in the middle of the ice. Puck gets blocked, popped up in the air. And what does York do? He follows it to the net and then backhand baseballs it out of the air into the top of the net past Vasilevsky. It's an unbelievable goal. Just great hand-eye coordination on the follow-through at NHL speed against one of the best goalies in the world. Tremendous goal from Cam York. And I just love the fact that it got blocked and he followed it to the net because it was kind of a 1-on-2. There wasn't any other real threats on the ice. Morgan Frost pick up the assist. Flyers back within 1. Eventually, these good opportunities the rest of the period. Unable to beat Vasilevsky. I thought Sam Ersson made some really big saves in the third period. In particular, there was a turnaround shot in the first 5 minutes in the Flyers zone with traffic. He made a nice left pad save. Made a really good glove save. Fought off another one kind of off the glove and wrist area. I thought Sam did exactly his job. The 4 goals that he allowed, I don't think there's a goalie on the planet that would have stopped him. The saves that he made in the third period when the game was tight gave his team a chance. The goalie did his job. Yeah, the stat line doesn't look great. No, it doesn't. From a save percentage standpoint, we look at raw numbers all the time. We compare them and we compare goalies and we say this guy should be the starter and this guy should be the whatever. The stat line's not great in this game for Sam Emerson, but you got to look at a lot more than that. When a goal is scored against, and if you want to assess blame, you got to look at context. Sam Emerson's stat line in the game is 789. He played a good game. He didn't give up any goals that he was supposed to stop. Yet, the stat line takes a big hit with a 789 save percentage for the game for Sam Emerson. A couple empty net goals then, 19-minute mark. They get one, and then Kucherov gets another one to round out the scoring at 19:49. Hagel and Kucherov with those empty netters, and the Flyers fall for a third straight game, 6-3 against the Tampa Bay Lightning. So missed opportunity now, 3 straight games on standings points. And in the Colorado game and in this game, they were very similar yet very different. And first of all, here's where they were similar. We saw one of the best players on planet Earth at hockey just absolutely take over a game. On Saturday, that was Nathan MacKinnon, who I think had 2 goals and 3 assists for Colorado. And he was just such a factor every time he was on the ice. Nikita Kucherov did it in this game. Kucherov was stunning in the hockey game. Stunning. And these 2 star players, MacKinnon and Kucherov, could not attack the game of hockey in a more different way. They play so insanely different the way they attack. It's almost incredible that both are as effective as they are. MacKinnon is a big, powerful, fast skater. He's got power to his game. He's got finesse. He's got everything. And then you look at Kucherov. Kucherov does not like to play a game at high pace and in high pace. He plays a very controlled game and one where he will rope-a-dope you with his lack of pace, incredibly quick twitch ability, and little bursts to create space. But he is the best player in the NHL with very little time, very little space, able to make plays. Incredible vision of the ice and awareness, and just, like I said, buttery soft hands. And like on the first goal that he scored, second goal of the game for Tampa, the little play he makes to pivot out of the middle of the ice once he gives up the puck and then swing out to a flank to make himself a shooting option on a one-timer from a cross-ice pass is just such a little savvy play. In hockey on offense, if you're not constantly moving and making yourself an offensive option, you're worthless. You have to make yourself an option. You have to make yourself need to be accounted for by the defense, because that's how you make line mates better. And Nikita Kucherov does it very different than Nathan MacKinnon, does it very different than Connor McDavid. McKinnon and McDavid much more alike in the way they play the game at a breakneck speed. Kucherov, completely different. I kind of look at the Tampa Bay Lightning and say, that's like an NBA team that wants to back you up, back to the basket, play a half-court game. And then the Flyers are a team that wants to play run and gun, get up the floor and transition and play that kind of game. So you have to find a way to force Tampa to play fast, to not play into their hands. And some nights that's easy. Not a lot of nights. And games like last night are where they make you pay. And that's one of the reasons they are not a good 5-on-5 team. They have been living on their power play all year. And they are not a team with tremendous depth. But when you have your top players and you put them on the power play, that is the result you get. A 6-3 game like we saw last night. And Kucherov took that game over. Flyers still some cracks in the defensive zone structure. Tampa will do that to a lot of teams. But if you're going to try and beat those teams, and the Flyers need to find some wins right now, you're going to have to tighten those areas of the game up. But again, like if we're being fair here about measuring the goaltenders and their performances, Sam Emerson, I don't put anything on him in that game last night. Look, not all shots are created equal. They just aren't. And Tampa, with some serious quality, not a ton of quantity, but a serious amount of quality in that game against the Flyers. Flyers got to straighten it out. Come up Thursday, get back on the road. 4-game homestand is over. Go to Detroit, who lost last night. Go to Detroit. Got to come away with 2 points. I don't care if it's good, bad, ugly, whatever the game is. You got to find a way to get 2 points. They've been lucky so far. They've missed 3 opportunities at points, and it hasn't dropped them a spot in the standings. That's a good thing. But you got to go out and get those 2 points. You want to end this little period with the Detroit game and then the Saturday game against the Bruins, going into the All-Star break feeling a lot better. We'll see if they can do that. And it's amazing because, people have written the death certificate for the Flyers on a number of occasions this season. Number of occasions. I remember earlier this year when the Flyers, they get off to a good start to the season. Things are going well. Then all of a sudden, they lose 5 out of 6. And the 5th of those losses out of those 6 games was against the San Jose Sharks on November 7th. That was the first time, the first pronouncement of death on the season. Flyers, after that loss, went on to win 5 straight, 7 of their next 9. Then the next pronouncement probably came. They had that Nashville loss. They had the loss before the Christmas break, 7-6 in the shootout to Detroit. They had the losses after the break. They win in Vancouver, but then they lose to Seattle, Calgary, and Edmonton. Then they come back home. They lose to Columbus in the shootout. Boom, there's another pronouncement. Season's over. This team, it caught up with them. Then all of a sudden they beat Calgary. They lose to Pittsburgh. Then they rattle off 5 straight. And last Thursday, not even a week ago, we see the Flyers beat the Dallas Stars 5-1. And what is probably the most complete game I've seen in 6-8 years from the Flyers. Best performance. They're out shooting them 23-1, up 2-0. They end up winning the game 5-1. Oh, and Tippett's got the crazy highlight goal. But then since that game, they've lost 7-4, 5-3, and 6-3. Things change really fast in the NHL. So don't pour dirt on them. Don't sign the death certificate. There's still a lot of hockey left. They got to get some points out of the Detroit game and the Boston game. Take the break, come back, and there's your stretch run. Good time to get some points, though, would be on Thursday against Detroit. We'll see if they can do that. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Flyers Daily. Join us coming up tomorrow. We'll get you kind of look at these last 2 games. We're going to have some guests coming on as well for the Flyers alumni game on Friday. All that and more coming up on a brand new Flyers Daily.